So, in a real estate market that's always changing, what really separates the agents who are thriving from those who are just surviving? Well, it's definitely not luck. It's a playbook. And today, we're going to break down the core strategies that top producers use to stay ahead of the game. Let's dive in. You know this quote, it just hits the nail on the head. Success right now, it's not about sitting around waiting for the perfect market. It's about making bold, decisive moves in the market you've got right now. The whole game is flipped from passive to proactive. And that proactive approach, that's our first big idea here. See, the top producers, they're not just crossing their fingers hoping the market gets better. No way. They're actually building businesses that are tough, resilient. Businesses that can handle pretty much anything the economy throws their way. And listen, this isn't just some passing trend. This is a glimpse into the future of the whole industry. The days of being a casual agent, they're pretty much over. What we're seeing is this big flight to quality. That means clients are actively looking for pros who can actually deliver. It makes productivity completely non-negotiable if you want to succeed. Okay, so if taking action is the key, then what's the engine that makes it all go? Well, this is the real game changer. It's not about the final number of deals you close. It's about the mindset underneath it all, the thing that powers an agent's results every single day. This slide just lays it out so clearly. Think about the old way. You were totally reactive. Your success was basically at the mercy of whatever the market decided to do that day. But the new way, it's all about being proactive, building a business that's pretty much market-proof. It's a whole system built on a powerful mindset, not just, hoping the numbers work out. Now, having that proactive mindset is absolutely crucial, but it's not enough on its own. You need the right tools to make it work. And for the best agents, that means finding this perfect sweet spot between the hard data and a real, genuine human connection. And that brings up a question that, honestly, a lot of people in the industry wrestle with. Should you focus on the data, the analytics, or on the relationships? It always seems to be framed as this either-or choice, right? But here's the secret. The top pros know that's a totally false choice. The goal isn't to pick one. The real magic, the thing that gives you that competitive edge, is when you blend them together seamlessly. So here's how that actually works. They use data to shape their strategy, but they lean on empathy to really serve the client. I mean, a spreadsheet can't understand what a family is dreaming of or what's keeping them up at night, right? It's this mix of data and emotional intelligence that's driving that whole flight to quality we talked about. Clients want agents who get the numbers and the people. All right, so you've got the mindset, check. You've got the data plus empathy approach, check. But how do you keep it going? How do you sustain that level of performance? Well, the next piece of the puzzle is all about the incredible power of momentum. Think about it. In a market that is constantly moving, standing still is basically the same as going backwards. And top producers, they get this. They don't just close a big deal and then kick back for a week. They know that putting in consistent effort, day after day, is completely non-negotiable. So how do you build this momentum? It's all about the power of compounding habits. We're not talking about anything crazy here. It's simple, repeatable stuff you do every single day. Things like daily prospecting, consistent follow-ups, and really getting involved in your community. These aren't just items on a to-do list. They're the routines that create stability and confidence, especially when the market feels totally chaotic. And here's a perfect real-world example of how they protect that momentum. It's about smart delegation. Let's say they use something like a transaction concierge to handle all the paperwork and administrative stuff. Now, they're not just dodging work. What they're really doing is strategically buying back their time so they can stay in their zone of genius, which is all about building relationships and being there for their clients. Okay, we can't talk about business today without talking about tech, right? But the way the best agents are using it, well, it might actually surprise you. I mean, let's be real. AI is a total game changer for this industry. The top producers, they're already fluent in it. They're using AI every day for marketing, for writing emails, for managing their contacts. It saves a ton of time. But, and this is so important, they never let that automation take the place of real human connection. For these agents, tech is just a tool to be more efficient. The human touch, actually listening to people, giving them good advice, empathizing with them, that's still the number one thing that sets them apart and builds real, lasting trust. And this all leads us to a really crucial point.
All these things we've talked about, the habits, the tech, the way they serve clients, all these external strategies are only as strong as the internal foundation they're built on. It all comes down to winning the inner game.
So, what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it means looking at market challenges and seeing them as opportunities to grow. It means having this grounded sense of optimism that doesn't get rattled every time you see a negative headline. And it means setting really clear, measurable goals that basically act as your North Star for everything you do. And really, when you boil it all down, it comes to this. Resilience isn't just some personality trait you either have or you don't. For the highest performers, it's an active business strategy. It's a conscious choice to stay focused and effective, especially when the market gets noisy and the pressure is on. This final quote just wraps it all up perfectly, doesn't it? Real, sustainable growth in this business is never just about the metrics. It's a whole approach. It's about integrating that powerful mindset, being able to adapt on the fly, and having a deep, genuine commitment to the relationships you're building. So, we're going to leave you with this one question to think about. Because when things get tough, it's not your intentions that matter, it's your actions. So, when the pressure is really on, what will your daily habits reveal about you and your business?